Okay, guys, welcome to the call. I think you can hear me now. I had to dial in. For some reason, this software has an option to be able to call in, or rather use the computer microphone, and it didn't let me do it. So if you can hear me okay, Karina, maybe you can just type something in the room. That'd be great. All right. Can you hear me now? Hello? All right, perfect. Thank you. Okay. Awesome. So I know it was changed in meeting. I was going to do it at 7, so I don't expect the attendance to be big, but it's okay because I'm going to record this as soon as I can get a screen up here. So just hang tight here. I'm going to launch my sharing of the screen, and we'll talk about some cool PPC stuff and why I started looking into it. So let me relaunch the software, and we'll get going here. So if you guys have any experience with pay-per-click PPC, feel free to share. I've done my share of pay-per-click through Facebook, Google, as well as something new I'm trying now with dating sites, believe it or not, and also some Bing stuff, so which is like Microsoft, right? And if you guys have any experience with Microsoft and compared to Google, I've heard some great things lately that obviously, it's tailored towards the internet marketer in our industry. Unfortunately, Google doesn't like internet marketers that deal in the biz op industry, so you guys may be well aware of the slap that happened in between 2008 and now. I got started heavily in internet marketing back in the 90s. I started learning how to do websites and stuff like that, but I didn't really understand how to market. Does that make sense? So, if that's you, I used to be the techie guy. I grew up around computers. I would always see funny-looking people, and I'm being sarcastic, but, I was basically a hater. I was hating on people making more money than I was, and I've been around this computer game for such a long time. And I said, what the heck? I got to figure out what they're doing. And so I took my ego aside, which is something that I think is very difficult to do for a lot of folks. You got to get yourself out of the way and then really open your mind into what are the top income earners doing. And when I was early in my stages of internet marketing, I didn't have consistent income coming in, so it was hard for me, like many people, to do pay-per-click. So a lot of you know me through doing marketing through Craigslist, which for the person that has a very small budget, I'm saying like anything under $500 a month, you should probably look into free sources of traffic, and we can talk about those tonight. But the main topic for tonight I wanted to go over is pay-per-click. So my Java update is updating, and I apologize, guys, but I'm on my Mac now, and for some reason, Java tends to do updates constantly. Kind of annoying, to tell you the truth. So now I'm forced to update for me to be using the screen sharing portion of this. So let me install this really quick. Feel free to introduce yourselves. We have a small team tonight, which is okay because I'm just doing a trial run here for some coaching. This is going to be recorded. I'll be going out to you guys. So I see Al Yatta on the webinar. Awesome to see you, man. Let everybody know where you're from, and we'll work out down the line here. And I want this to be kind of a hangout, and you guys kind of share your experiences as well, because I want everybody to learn. This is completely free training. I want you guys to kind of learn what I've learned and vice versa. So I think it's going to be a cool little mastermind. Maybe we can turn this into even something bigger. So we got Al Yatta out in Philly. Welcome to the webinar. Anthony McGee, I believe you're out in Long Beach, if I'm not mistaken. Anthony, go ahead and share where you're from. Let's see. Let's go down. Karina. Karina's up in the Bay Area. Yep, Long Beach. He just messaged. So yeah, Anthony's up in Long Beach. So got some folks in the West Coast, California. I'm down in Southern California, guys. San Diego, to be specific, North County, if you guys are familiar with that area. Very close to Jonathan Buds. If you know where Jonathan Buds is at, we're very close to each other, basically neighbors. So my office is in Oceanside now. I just got an office here not too long ago, and so that's where I spend some of my time there, and it's really close to where he's from. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here. You should be able to see that. And let's move down the line here. So we got Karina up in, I want to say, Sacramento area. Is that right, Karina? So Northern California. Darren, where are you from, my friend? Darren Guess. Yep, Sacramento, I was right. All right. And then, let's see, Dominic, another Ohio. So you got Darren from Ohio. All right, Darren. Cool, man. Good to see you on the webinar. And we have, let's see, Dominic. Dominic is out there in New Jersey. Gerald Dominic, the chef, calls himself the MLM chef. He's a good friend of mine there, Dominic. Gilbert Campos, good to see you, Gilbert. Gilbert, if I'm not mistaken, you are in Texas. Is that right? What part of Texas are you from, Gilbert? Renee Linares, we'll come back to Gilbert. Renee, how about Renee? Where are you from, my friend? I've seen your name around, Renee. California, cool, man. I've seen you your name around on the FB space, Facebook space. You're along the kind of circle of influence of all the internet marketers. My good friend Robert Hathorn, the Cowboy Love out in Texas, and then we have Tess. Tess, where are you dialed in from? Chicago. All right, so it's kind of a good little group tonight. And without further ado, I'll kind of go into this. Let me start sharing my screen. You should be able to see it here in a second. This thing kicks in. You have to run it again. I'll tell you, this Java thing is a bit annoying. Let me open up the meeting again. So here's a quick history. I was 2011, December, most of you know, I moved to the mountains, and I had a hard time with the internet, so it became kind of a challenge. Recently, by a fluke accident, I was ready to move, and I called this realtor, and the realtor says, hey, why do you want to move? I said, man, because I live up in the middle of the mountains, love where I live, but middle of nowhere, and I don't have internet. He said, you should give this guy a call. And you guys should see my screen now, right? If you guys can just say, I see your screen, that'd be cool. And so he says you should give this guy a call, and the guy turned out to be a kind of a mom and pop shop, hole in the wall place, and it turned out to be pretty cool because he was able to help me get my internet going. So I actually have pretty good internet. So if you guys can, let's see, you guys probably see me there. You guys are able to see video now? You can see me sharing my screen? All right, cool. All right, so so now the internet's cool. I'm happy. You know, I think we're going to hang out here for a little bit. Live up the top of a little hill in Valley Center, California. Many of you don't know the area, but if you guys know who Bill Murray is, that's probably the most popular person that lives out here. He's been caught at a few softball games, and Caddyshack guy, Ghostbusters guy, you know. So that's him, and that's probably the best thing I can describe. But it's a cool little farm town. The kids love it, and we weren't sure if they're gonna like it, so we ended up moving out here, and we're living out here in the mountains now, and kind of love the peace, if that makes sense. So, Stripes, I see. Oh yeah, Stripes. That's another movie. You're right. So Dominic's a movie buff. I haven't seen him. I've heard of that movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I do recall him being in that one. So, okay. So let's begin. Yep, Ghostbusters. Hey, by the way, I think they're going to come out with the Ghostbusters 3, I hear. So that should be pretty cool. Let's begin. So there's a lot of resources for pay-per-click sites, right? And I'm always out in the hunt for the best resources. So If I come across any new ones, I'll give you some. I first started off with one called POF. Okay, I came across one called Plenty of Fish. And believe it or not, it's a dating site, right? And Plenty of Fish turned out to be something that clicked in my mind, saying, okay, what kind of stuff can I market to these folks? And ironically, if you look at the front page, it's mainly girls. So I'm guessing that the reality is, it looks like online here, they have 46,000 people. Okay, and the reality is that they're probably attracting a certain demographic. And if you're on a dating site, what kind of things would you want to be as a woman or maybe a guy? You want to be healthy, and you want to possibly market something in that realm. So what I did was I went over to ClickBank. Okay, so I went over to ClickBank, and by all means, guys, I'm just testing right now. I'm not throwing a lot of money. All I'm doing is testing. When I say testing, I'm spending about $20 to $50 a day just playing around, sending some traffic to a page, and I'll show you what that page will look like. But what I wanted to do was see how it converted and just do some testing. And so one of the things that I recommend, okay, if you're on ClickBank, it's very rare, unless you're a big-time player, to get the person creating the product to accept to this. But what you want them to do is accept to the fact that they will allow you to insert your tracking code on the sales page. Why the sales page? Excuse me. Because you can track to them the concept of, okay, I got to click, and I'll go into that in a second. I got to click to a site, right? So that you have an ad on the site. So let's look at this right-hand side, for example, sponsor links. At the very top, you got your title, and then right below that, you got your description, and then right below that, you got the usually the link. It's not always the permanent link, but it's usually a link that looks sexy, looks clean, and then it has a redirection type thing that tracks where it's going to go. So like you can use like hyperlink or whatever as an example. So my point in saying that is I emailed this guy who's the creator, and he says, well, how much traffic are you going to draw? I said, well, right now I'm doing some testing, so if I can't test, then he can't accept type of deal. So one thing I've learned, and I want you guys really to grasp this, is when you go to a page inside ClickBank, you want to be the person capturing the lead. So it's going to require you to do some a little bit of knowledge of creating a capture page, and I can assist you as much as I can. I'm a pretty busy guy, as you guys may know, but I can assist you as much as I can to create a capture page. And as you can see, I haven't made any sales, but I can tell you I've captured leads. Okay, so I was just doing a quick test. I wasn't drawing heavy amount of traffic, but let me show you what my traffic looks like in a second. But what you do is when you go into the inside, you go over to where it says Marketplace, right? Inside Marketplace, you come down here and you got all these categories. So, if I'm into cooking, and Dominic knows that very well, then he would use cooking, food, and wine, right? But I wanted to go after health and fitness because I'm on a dating site, and I figured, okay, either health and fitness might be a good topic, or you kind of use your imagination. You got arts and entertainment, betting systems, business investing, computers and the internet. I mean, you can go on and on and on. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on health and fitness. And the very first item, believe it or not, is what I marketed. It's called the fat loss factor, right? And the fat loss factor says guaranteed highest converting front end on ClickBank. So my advice, and by the way, guys, I'm showing you what I'm testing now. So it's out of good faith. I just want you guys not to compete against me. So don't use this as a test if you decide testing. But I'm just showing you what my results are as far as traffic. Okay, I just want to show you what I've done. With POF, they didn't accept my membership, so I had to come back. But it takes some time. I think it takes 24 hours to get accepted, and I'll show you what that looks like. You go to ads.pof.com, and then you click on Advertising Now, and you want to log in. And I had to submit my credit card, my ID, just to let them know I'm a real person, because I guess credit card fraud, because I think they're somewhere in somewhere in Canada. And I'm starting off with $25. That's what I would have began my campaign. But as you can see, I have not ran any traffic through because it says here needs creatives. So I've already got 2 images that were declined because I show a stomach with a band around it. So they're saying here inappropriate image, incorrect size, exclusively large, unnatural breasts, buttocks focused, lingerie, bikini, exposed midriff, short skirt dress, nude male torso, or member of POF. Okay, So I'm not sure because it gave me so many different ideas here. I'm not sure which one it was. So I'm going to try something else. I thought using this one here would be better since it's not showing the breast. It's just kind of showing the pants being big, but they didn't like that. So this hasn't launched yet. I'm just playing with it, but I got accepted. I'm just letting you know if you want to run with this, you want to start early. You want to make sure you get them to accept your account, and then you can kind of play around with different ideas. So what I did was I created an idea, and by doing this, 1 week fat loss buster, and I got this concept title from their page. So I'm going to go over here where it says promote, but before I do, I'm going to right click on the item. I'm going to go open in a new tab, okay? And then what I did was I looked at the page and I said, hey, this is actually a really good looking page. It's got a great sales video. It's got it's got Facebook traction. Over 124,000 people like it on Facebook. If I was logged in on Facebook right now, I would see a lot of my friends, which is pretty cool. And so there's a lot of and I don't know, there's a lot of comments here and so on and so on, but there's a lot of great information. It looks like a really good capture page. If I was to remove that link, sorry, it's not a capture page. This is actually the sales page. If I was to remove this link here, ironically, I do not see the Buy It Now button. Usually it's right here. It could be because let me click on Promote, and I'm just going to call this POF. Okay, so you use your account name, and by the way, this one pays 75%. Hit Create, and then it gives you the link. And by the way, this looks kind of funny. It's encrypted. That's on purpose. So it's going to be encrypted here, and it's going to have hop, ClickBank. So anything after TID is POF. Okay. The ID lets you know where the traffic is coming from when it gets to the page. So let's go over to use my link, and I don't know if this one has a sales button. Maybe it does. Yeah, there it is. So this is what I did. I erased new because I wasn't sure if a person was going to click on it anywhere else but new, and I went straight to the page. And if you go straight to the page, this is what the front page looks like, and then they would be capturing the lead that I should be capturing. So what I like doing is sending traffic to a page to capture that lead. And there's a couple things that on this test that I learned, and I think the main thing is if you let somebody in without capturing a lead, you're missing a lot of leads. So if we look at my let's look at my clicks. So I'm going to go over to CesarRamirez.com/WP-admin. I'm going to log into my WordPress account, and I use a plugin called PrettyLink, and it's free. You can actually grab PrettyLink off of the plugin section. And what I did was I created a separate capture page, right? Essentially what I did was, I keep doing that. What I did was I took this page, I'll show you how I did that, and I made it my own. I captured the lead, so I know that I can always market anything that's a fat loss product to that customer. Is this pretty big, right, guys? You guys lost sound? Robert's saying he lost sound. Are you guys okay, or? Robert? Okay, cool. It might be your speakers there, buddy. Okay, and feel free to ask questions at the top. Cool. All right. So if you go to PrettyLink, I just want to show you what this traffic looked like. And I actually drew the traffic from Bing. Okay. So the sales page is the page that they click to. So if they're in here, if they opted in or they clicked this button, it took them over to the sales page that you just saw, which is this guy here. Okay. And then if you come down here where it says the very first one, I got 311 clicks. Now, why do I like using PrettyLink? Really simple. Let's click on this guy right here, where it says hits and unique. I got 294 unique ones. 311 were repeats. So if you look at 294, okay, you come down here. My traction, my tracking ID, it says FLF Bing. That means it's fat loss factor Bing. And then I can see what sites are actually being referred. This is why I like CreateLink. And you can see that on the 10th, I started right around the 10th. I launched it on the 11th, 67 hits on the first day. I started to play around with the money, and I'll go into that in a second. 150 hits on, I believe that was the 12th, which was yesterday. And was it yesterday 12th? Yeah, yesterday was 12th. And then the 13th, I pulled it, I believe, early this morning. So 94 hits there. Okay, so why am I telling you this? Because out of 294 people that visited the page, let's grab a calculator here. So 294 people that clicked on my link from whatever they saw it. Okay, 50. These are unique. I'm just going to look with the unique ones. 56 of them decided to click on the offer to either opt in. Okay, and I believe out of those 56 people, only 7 of them opt in. Where is my message here? So let's go to my list. I went over to fat loss factor right here. Where is it? Fat loss fact Z. There you go. So I got 13 subscribed today, 9 yesterday. So I got 7 total. I got 7 total right here, grand total. So I got 3 yesterday and 2 today. Okay. I just want to show you the numbers because most people give up at 100 clicks. Okay. Even sometimes on Craigslist, it could be even less. So it may not sound like a lot, which it isn't. Okay. And then when I show you how much I spent, I'll show you that I didn't run a lot of money. At least, you know. So what you want to do is go to ads.bing.com. Okay. And then let's go to sign in. And I'll log in. And you can see my budget was $60. I was playing with this. If you go to ads, that ad that I showed you from the other one, I copied that same one. 1 week fat loss buster. I got this by watching a video. All they said was flatter belly, enjoy foods you love, lose inches, drop size, and fat loss. Guess which one was the most attractive keyword? I believe was something about enjoy the foods you love. Because people don't want to change their eating habits, right? I think it's the biggest problem with weight loss. And so if you look at my keywords, I'll show you where I got my keywords, by the way. My highest clicks, I got 10 clicks, was fat-burning foods, going back to talking about foods, right? So fat-burning foods was the highest click, okay? Even though I set it to be $1.51, I did not spend that. My average click there was 77 cents for that keyword phrase to be on position 5, meaning that, you know, if you're anything below anything on the first page, then it's not worth it. You're not going to get any clicks. Now, here's what's interesting. Here, you know, it says content total is 278. Okay, but the clicks actually came from the what appears to be the exact phrase. So if they clicked on it, it was the ad. But I got 200 clicks, right? According to this, I got 294 clicks. And what Bing does, it doesn't just give you content on the website. They also give you content on like images and stuff like that. So I'm very, very particular on how I set this up. We can go through that in a second. But what I wanted to show you guys is how I came up with these keywords. And by the way, once you come up with the keywords, you can leverage these keywords and use it in the blog so you can get more traffic and start studying how that works there. So I wanted to show you what my conversion looked like, okay? 56 divided by 294. I got 19% conversion, okay, according to these numbers here, okay? And And out of 56, I got 7 leads, right? So 7 divided by 56, 7 leads. And that's about 12% conversion from that. Now, it doesn't look attractive on the scale like this because I believe where I messed up was I leveraged this page. So it's just something, I'm just teaching where I think I messed up. I use this page even though I like the page. There's a lot of noise going on, and the person is less likely to click on it to get the free ebook, and they wanted to maybe go and discover the realization. So it's hard to say. It could be a possibility I would have lost out in traffic there, if I would have done things differently. But let me show you the page I created. All I did was right-click on this page here, and I went to View Page Source, and I just copied all this code. I copied it into my web server. I copied it into mine and just modified some stuff. Like I took out all these links here because I didn't want them to get lost on the page, and I captured the lead here and then here. So all I'm using is his information, and once they opt in, I send them over to all the emails he gives as an affiliate. Being a part of the affiliate, you actually get email that he gives you down here at the bottom. Affiliate. So most of these guys have an affiliate offer. Now, let's talk about the keywords because this is something that I think you guys can all take, not just for pay-per-click, but for anything that you do on the internet. Google Keyword Tool. Okay, so you click on this guy right here, and I'm just going to type in fat loss as this example. It can be anything that you're marketing. If you're marketing whatever product you're marketing, you just type in that keyword. So I'm just going to type in fat loss. And then you don't have to enter a website, and then you don't have to enter a category, and just type in the code here, EDOOKEFU, and hit search. And I don't know if I have to log in. Okay, there it is. Okay, so down here at the bottom, you see fat loss has 1 million global searches. Okay, one thing that I learned was that you're going to a very, very broad area. I didn't know this area over here on the left-hand side until recently. The last 5 days, I was just studying this stuff. And what I did was I unchecked broad, and I went and put the brackets around exact. And you're going to look at what happens with fat loss. It went from 1 million views to 8,000. If you're at 8,000 global searches and it's a medium competition, that's a good keyword phrase to use. So what I did was I clicked on global monthly searches right here at the top, and I sorted them out and see how these are all high. I didn't want to compete against those guys because most likely Bing would be the same way. And I went for the ones that are below 8,000. So I kept cruising down here. I think 18,000, maybe that's where I started. Let's see. I used yoga for weight loss. That one's a low keyword, 18,000 views. Okay. So anything that's low and medium, I started leveraging that made sense with my product to offer. Liquid diet, I didn't use that one. No carb diet, I didn't use that one. But these are keywords that you can use that are medium searches. And I started taking these words that were anything but high. So I didn't want to use high keywords, if that makes sense. I use medium, and I use the magic numbers 18 and below. The product that you want to pick on ClickBank, it's got to be something that is. Let me show you the numbers here. When you go to ClickBank, there is all the offers on the side of ClickBank have a number called. Let me go to the marketplace. So let's go to education, right? I click on education. Do you guys see this number right here where it says gravity right there? That should be anything. You shouldn't even bother with it if it's under 100. Okay, so you don't want to touch that product if it's under 100. And then the average sale is 2484. Okay, so this is not a good product to market. You can even, another thing you can do is search the keywords, human anatomy if you wanted to in the Google keywords area and just see how that's doing. Let's go try another product in the marketplace, just so I can give you an idea. If you go back to health and fitness, you see how this product I'm marketing here, I just showed you. Look at the gravity of this one is 329. So that's a really good number. Anything above 100, remember, is better. And Let's look at another one here. This one's 148, so that one's good. So obviously weight loss is a good niche. I mean, people are always going to be interested in weight loss. Let's see if I can show you another category that's not health. We'll pick, let's see, where are you at? Let's pick home and garden. So you can see this product right here has 105. It's 16,000 plans on home and garden, $38.75 offer. You know, that's cool. Average rebill, this is what's kind of a red flag for me. That means are they going to be paying for this every single month? And it has less than 1%. I mean, it's a 1% rebill. So you mean that means that person's not going to pay for it every month. That one doesn't have a rebill. So a rebill means like an auto ship or an auto charge every month for being a part of the membership and getting tips from them, stuff like that. So if you want residual income, you know, that's a pretty good deal to do there. So I think anything under $100 is a good test. I ran a campaign here, I think a little bit over 100 in the last few days because I wanted to see how it converted. I was just trying to make a sale. I just want to see, you know, when it would make a sale. Unfortunately, I did not make a sale, but I got, let's see. Oh, okay. So I spent $87, so just under $100. I guess I could still spend a little bit more. I may run a little bit different test on a different site, but that was just Bing. So this is just Bing. It's always key, guys, to track your traffic. Okay, and there's different ways of doing that. As a matter of fact, I can. If you guys want to send me an email, I can send you the page I created. I think it would help you guys in a big time way to understand how to track. So embeddedstrategies.com/fat loss factor. Okay. If we click on this, you can see it's the exact same thing. If you compare the pages, though, you notice that I don't have a member login on mine. Right? I took that out. I also took out order FLS, and I also took out contact us because I don't want them to contact them yet. And the autoresponders, I'm using Aweber. What I did was I went in here again, and he was using like, let's see. So again, guys, I'm going to kind of recap because this can get a little bit technical. So I'm not allergic to technical stuff, but if you are, I'd be happy to educate you guys. It's pretty simple. Nothing really crazy. I know it looks kind of funky, but when you right-click on the page and go to View Source, it's going to give you this. It's going to give you this kind of information. All you have to care about is look for the green stuff. So I guess the fastest way to do this is Control F. So if I do a Command F on my Mac or Control F, you want to look for where it says the area that you want to search for. In this case, it's just first name. So I'm just going to type in the first name here. And it's going to bring up a form. And so all you have to do, if you have a list builder system, which most of you should have, either if you're playing online at all, you should have a list builder of some sort, whether it's GBO or Aweber or whatever you're using to build a list. You want to build right here where it says opt-in. In this case, it says opt-in. In every single website that has an opt-in list, it has this. And all you're going to do is replace the information here to go with the code that you get from the other one. And that's exactly what I did. So instead of auto response here, that link there, I'm using Aweber's form. And if you look at mine, you right-click, View Source, and I do Control F, first name. You'll see my code there. It says Aweber. See that right there? And this all came from Aweber, guys. And so, if you're using Aweber, it's really simple to do. You should know how to build some forms. Pretty simple. All I do is copy my form there. So I'm capturing the lead now. So when somebody comes in, I'm grabbing that lead, and that's exactly how I'm doing that there. So I'm going to pause right there. Any questions so far on this concept? I know there's a lot of information to go over in 1 hour, but I wanted you guys to kind of get the taste of getting traffic automation. Like if you guys are busy, I know like Dominic has, is busy with his family and he's got other projects going on. If you guys are too busy, it's always a good idea, especially if you have a job and you're working all day, to have a consistent amount of traffic coming into your business. And so if you have a steady paycheck, if you're making extra, if you spend a $50 extra $50 just driving traffic and split that up, in a week as an example, which isn't a lot, but if you were to split it up and you can kind of scale it up from there, after you start seeing how many sales you're making versus how many clicks, and then you would scale it up from there, if that makes sense. So any questions thus far? I know we got some few folks that joined us here, but I wanted you guys to kind of get a grasp of this concept. And so I wanted to capture the lead. I think to better this campaign, just in my opinion, I would take this guy's sales page and make it mine, right? And then not actually process. The only thing that would be the sale button would be his. So the reason for that is because I want to make sure that on the sales portion of it, I capture that conversion. Okay, so I don't know how it works with ClickBank. Again, this is actually my first trial with ClickBank. I think I've played with another idea, but I never built a dedicated page like this for ClickBank. And it's just a one-pager. If you have a website, it's not even dedicated to fat loss, but I just, it's just a domain I bought, and I just threw an extra folder in there called the Fat Loss Factor, and then I drew traffic in there. Okay. There's some key things that I've added to my form, though, my page, is that I wanted it to be trackable. So this page here, which I can't do on his, I can do a question mark. And this is key for everybody, so I hope you're taking notes, because this is probably the biggest golden nugget I can share with you. And I've shared this before with other programs like the Easy Money Method. I built a page for that, same idea. Okay, but this is just a quick leading product. So this works for anything that you're going to do. And I think this is the most smartest thing to do. What I do is I put a question mark, and then I give it a little bit of PHP code, just like a line of code, and I can show you what that looks like. TID equals, so tracking ID, that's all I'm doing, tracking ID equals where I'm marketing. So in this case, it was Bing, right? And so if I was to do this and then hit enter, the page will reload. So it's got to have a question mark, TID equals Bing, and that's just something I put into the page in here. Now I'm just going to do Control F and then put BING. So right here, you can see it goes to CesarRamirez.com to my pretty link, Fat Loss Factor offer.tid equals Bing. So that way I know the traffic came from Bing. And if you go over to CesarRamirez.com, my offer page is right there, right? And if you click on this 56 number here, right, so it says unique hits, you're going to see that code gets clicked on right there. Look at all these. TID equals Bing, 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 Bing. And then before I wasn't doing anything, but imagine having traffic from not just Bing, but now you're going to have it from Plenty of Fish, right? And you're not tracking your traffic. You're not going to know what's going to be where your traffic's coming from. And the cool thing about Pretty Link is you can export this bad boy right at the bottom down here, download CSV, and then you can start making cool. If you guys are really good with Excel, you guys can make some really cool looking charts to see where you're getting most of your traffic from, or that way you're not mixing it with this guy here. So, any questions so far? Any questions so far? Cool. Some of you guys got this information down, right? But here's the cool thing. So I'm gonna wrap it up with this. I think this is the most important factor. If you're not going to do anything with pay-per-click, or if you are going to do pay-per-click, you want to make sure you track everything, because that way you know what you're spending your money on, what campaign is making more sense than the other. Would I consider this one a successful campaign I ran here? I would say absolutely yes, because it's a target, very, very target niche group that I'm going after. Okay, so I'm dealing with people that are interested in weight loss ideas. And so how do I know that? Well, let's go over to look at my clicks. So let's go back one step behind this. We'll look at the 294 clicks. If you see down here where the refer says it came from sparklepeople.com. Okay, the one right below that, it says it came from MSN. This one came from keywordblocks.com, and it says best way to lose weight. So if I click on this page, I don't know where it's going to take me, but it looks like it's some contextual ads, Bing Network. So it's part of Bing Network advertising system. And these are all people. Look at this one here. How to burn belly fat. Remember my keywords? To go back to my my keywords on Bing, or wherever you're at. Campaigns. And look at keywords here. You can see that it says exact. These are exact keywords. So the same thing I did for Google in the brackets, you can do the same thing when you set up your Bing traffic. Okay, so I always do clicks, guys. I don't do impressions. So you can imagine paying for impressions. In this case, I didn't, but I do clicks. Impressions are people looking at your ads and you're paying, I believe, every 1,000 impressions you get paid for. You pay for that. But I think it even tells you here cost per impression would have been $40, right? So imagine this. I would have paid $40 for 190 impressions, according to this. Instead, I paid 77 cents for every click. So that would have added up crazy styles if it would have been cost per impression. Does that make sense? Losing weight, that was another keyword I used. You can see here that cost per impression would have been $2. My cost per click is 80 cents. That's just the average, right? So my kind of homework for you guys, if you guys want to throw some homework at you guys, go find a product that you want to play with, okay, and track it. Set up a page. If you guys aren't familiar with setting up pages, then you can just throw some traffic at it, but still use PrettyLink to get your clicks. That way you know where your traffic is coming from. So you can just throw PrettyLink and it tells you, okay, this traffic is coming from Bing, 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 and that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure that comes from there. This is free. PrettyLink is free. Just go to your WordPress site. Mostly you should have a site. WordPress. If you have an Empower Network site, you can't do this because they don't allow you to set up extra plugins. But you can just click on plugins and add PrettyLink on your personal blog site. Okay, and they're fairly cheap to set up. I think they're like, I don't know, $10 for hosting at Gator or whatever it costs now for that, and you can just set up some blog site. And if you wanted to take it a step further, buy a domain name that goes with that niche. So if I wanted to take it a step further, I would have done like fatlossfactorreview.com and made a whole website based off of that. It would have been a niche site, and then I would have gotten SEO traffic, right? Search engine traffic, which is all free. And so, but PrettyLink, pretty easy to find. Just go to add new, search plugins, and then searching, and there it is. So they have PrettyLink Lite. Install that, and I'll kind of use an update. I've been using this now for, I think since I started using WordPress back in 2008, and I absolutely love it because for that simple fact that I can track where my clicks are coming from, where that referring URL sent it from. So I think this is this is a pretty big deal. Any questions, guys? I know we covered a lot, so there's a lot of information tonight. But yes, Lynn, there will be a replay, and I'll be emailing that out probably after 8 o'clock my time and 6:52. I'm about to go take a run, and then I'll be happy to send out that link to you guys in case you missed it. No problem, Karina. I know. We've been talking, for about an hour, and it's a lot of information, and it's a lot of brain stuff, a lot of technical stuff when it comes to the web. But if you keep it simple, so if I was to keep it simple and do the steps, this is what I would do here. I'll grab a notepad. I'm on Mac, so I got to do a text edit pad. And then step 1, open up a clickbank.com account. And they're free, by the way. You just open it up and you get an ID. Step 2, tracking software. So either pre-link. I'm actually double whamming it with hyperlink too. Hyperlink gives you 3 free ones. So if you don't want to use, if you don't have a blog site and you want to use like a tracking software, you can use Hyper Tracker, not link. If you're doing some of my eBay training and you have the Craigslist ad tracker, you can also use that. That's another tracking software. So I set up a campaign in here. I think they give you 3 of them for free. Okay. So you can see I got 264 clicks here. And you know, I don't know if I set this up correctly, but this is what it looks like. I just set up a campaign called Fat Loss Factor, Bing, and then didn't give it a password, didn't give it a description. Cost per click. This is an average. I was paying about a little bit higher than that, but you know, according to this, I paid what was that campaign say? Let me step one portion back. I think the average cost per click on this one was 50 cents. So it cost me 50 cents a click for all those keywords combined together. So that's just the average, right? So if you have to look at that, I'm going to just change this because this is what it was at one point. I went up a little bit more because I put a little bit more money into the traffic. You can change that right here, by the way, when you're looking at the traffic and you're not getting enough clicks. Okay, you're going to click on this where it says bid and let's see, keywords. If you want to focus on this particular keyword that was giving you better click rate, in this case this one was, I just changed this one from whatever it was, 40 cents to $1.51, and even though it's not $1.51 I'm only spending 77 cents. Okay, so 77 cents a click was the average. And so that's what I'm going to put there is about 50% clicks out of all the stuff. Count clicks equals once per session. And then where I was sending them to, I was sending them to the main page with my tracking ID. As you can see there, I have that tracking ID there, so I know it's coming from Bing, and I just save it. And I think the pro version of this, I haven't subscribed to this, but I think the pro version gives you more information, like you can actually do number of sales. You can track your sales if they actually convert, type of deal. So this is called Hyper Tracker. So going back to our document here, tracking software, Pretty Link, or Hyper Tracker to track clicks. Okay, you want to see track your clicks, and then you can actually paste your code in there. I went a step further, guys, and created a separate capture page, so I want to capture some leads that were niched in the weight loss. I can always market whatever to them. I mean, one lead, if one lead buys anything from me, you know, let's just say they buy a, you know, $200 MLM product or a $200 affiliate product, I've already made my money back just with that one lead. You got to ask yourself, how much is that lead worth? And so you got to put a price on that lead. So, you know, it really just depends on what you market to them. They're targeted leads. And because you have an email, I take it a step further and I Google the email and see, or sometimes I go to Facebook and see who they are, see what kind of quality of person they are and how they represent themselves, right? So I know some people on this webinar do that the same thing because you want to know who you're working with. So you can do that as well. Invite them to a webinar, a fat loss training webinar, whatever it is. And I'm just giving you ideas, okay? So you got a lead now. You can market anything to them. That's money. That's money, guys. So if you guys want to know how many leads I've in combined total, I produce over almost 4,000 leads, guys, okay, with the exact same ideas and concepts. So this is not something new that I just started with Fat Loss Facts. You know, Fat Loss is just one campaign I'm trying in different ways, but you know, most of those leads that you can see came from my Craigslist product. I get about an average of 6 leads a day. I got 9 yesterday. Total subscribers is 2145. Unsubscribed is 104. By the way, those cost you money, so you got to take those off. Unsubscribe, you know, they're not getting an email from you. You want to take those off if you have AWeber. I have a video out there that shows you how to take those off. Just go to YouTube and look for that video. because those are costing you money. Those you can take those off really easy. And what I do is I back those up in the CSV and then save them so I can market to something to them later in some other software or whatever. You don't ever want to throw away a lead because you know they're already internet marketers. They just had a bad day and decided to opt out. Or maybe they had a Corona and it was sour, whatever. So open up ClickBank, tracking software, use Google search tool to find exact keyword audience and choose an audience that is medium to low competition. Nothing under 1,000 searches should you add to your campaign. Meaning that if nobody searches under, if the keyword is not popular, like it's getting like 220 views, searches a month, don't even bother adding that to your campaign. You're just spinning your wheel. So, for example, if I go back here to my Bing campaign, which I just closed by accident, if these keywords right here down at the bottom are not getting any clicks and they got a huge amount of impressions, right? So your impressions are right here. Let me click on impressions. So lose weight right here got 3 clicks and 1,155 impressions, right? And my cost per click was 80 cents. Lose weight is actually a pretty tough keyword to work with because it's pretty common. But when you start adding words like weight loss calculator, fat burning foods, you're adding 3 keywords. It's less likely to be a high competition, if that makes sense. It's almost like the domain names. And so, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll respond. I want you guys to succeed. Share with me your success. Pick a product and play with it. So I hope that gives you some value tonight. And JC says they put some lime in it. And really start playing with it. I think the key thing with the internet is testing. A lot of people aren't willing to test enough numbers. You can literally just play with anything. I think I haven't tested the site out yet. Apparently they're very picky, but you're dealing with a different brand of people here that care about their looks because they're looking for a date, right? So it may be a good niche to go after, and we don't know until we test. And I would make that a separate campaign test. You don't want to mix them together, and that's why you want to add some tracking stuff in there, or some crazy different tracking kind of stuff. So that's it for me.